News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there's your closing bell for this Wednesday on Wall Street, where the market's rebound is slowing down over concerns that stocks may be at risk for new surprises and speculation that stocks have run too fast amid risks of a trade war and an economics slowdown. And of course, we bring you those closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 gained 6 points. NASDAQ gained 137 points. The Dow lost 89 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.53%. The 2-year yield at 4.05%. Some big deals reportedly being crafted in Qatar. The White House says President Trump has secured deals totaling more than $243.5 billion with Qatar. That lays the groundwork for a bigger $1.2 trillion economic pledge. A big part of that is Qatar Airways purchasing at least 160 Boeing aircraft, which Trump says is the largest order in the American company's history. Qatar Airways is also considering a smaller order of Airbus A350 aircraft. Shares of Boeing touched a one-year intraday high, rising about 0.6%. Chip makers Nvidia and Advanced Micro Devices scored multi-billion-dollar deals in Saudi Arabia. Mandeep Singh covers tech for Bloomberg Intelligence.
So far, the biggest concern was Nvidia is exposed to the hyperscalers. They kind of control 45% of Nvidia's revenue. In this case, now you've got sovereign buyers who are talking about multi-year purchases, and actually they announced an 18,000 GPU purchase, which amounts to close to $1 billion in revenue.
Mandeep Singh with Bloomberg Intelligence. Shares of Nvidia rose 4.2% in the regular session, and shares of Advanced Micro Devices rose 4.7% in the regular session, touching a 3-month intraday high. As House Republicans continue to fashion their bill that would cut taxes and spending, Speaker Mike Johnson spoke of one of the toughest issues, the deduction for state and local taxes, or SALT.
We're working through it. I was working on it at about 1:30 last night, okay? We got more red state folks in our conference, and they have concerns about it. We have blue state people who have realities they've got to deal with at home, and they need some relief for their constituents. So I'm absolutely confident we're going to be able to work out a compromise that everybody can live with.
House Speaker Mike Johnson. New York Republican Nicole Maliotakis suggests the proposed $30,000 state and local tax deduction cap could be increased to $80,000 for couples and $40,000 for individuals, but that may require concessions. Federal Reserve Vice Chair Philip Jefferson says tariffs and related uncertainty could slow growth and boost inflation this year, but monetary policy is well positioned to respond as needed.
If the increases in tariffs announced so far are sustained, they are likely to interrupt progress on disinflation and generate at least a temporary rise in inflation. I view the current stance of policy as well positioned to respond to developments that may arise.
Philip Jefferson speaking at a conference organized by the New York Fed. The U.S. and China pausing their tariffs for 90 days, creating some hope the worst of America's trade wars may be over. But the economic damage is there. Former New York Fed president and Bloomberg contributor Bill Dudley says the Fed faces a tough decision between fighting inflation and supporting economic growth.
If you were driving a car in a thunderstorm, you wouldn't just put the car on autopilot and hope that you would get through it safely. So he pulled to the side of the road until the weather cleared up, and that's what the Fed has to do.
Former New York Fed President Bill Dudley on Bloomberg Surveillance. Fiery back and forth on Capitol Hill as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. testified before Congress for the first time as Health and Human Services Secretary. Kennedy was assailed by House Democrats for the Trump administration's refusal to spend all of last year's appropriations and still cutting the next budget sharply. Ranking Democrat Rosa DeLauro asked about research funds for the National Institutes of Health.
We are not withholding any funding. If you appropriate money to me, I'm going to spend that.
We have appropriated, Mr. Secretary.
I'm going to spend it.
Then you're going to spend it. You're not going to cut $20 billion from the NIH.
The White House proposal is to do very, very large cuts at NIH.
Unbelievable.
Kennedy also appeared before the Senate Health Committee. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.